My name is Catherine. I'm a senior at Stanford, majoring in economics and math, and at the moment, it's killing me, but I'll be okay. I love to compete. I played club soccer throughout middle school and most of high school, and the level of play was very competitive. I don't remember much from those games, but I do distinctly recall one of my coaches pulling me off the field multiple times in one season and telling me, "Catherine, you're taking the path of least resistance out there. Stop taking the path of least resistance," and then benching me for the rest of the game. In retrospect, I knew that I was a nervous wreck out on the field, but from my coach's point of view, this translated to me exerting minimal effort or taking the easy way out. My coach's quote stuck with me during high school because it seemed contradictory to just about everything I did. I grew up in a small apartment in Los Angeles. The oldest of three, my intention early on was to be the best at whatever I did. Sports, piano, earning money, Dance Dance Revolution, sandwich eating contests with my brothers, you name it. I was driven by the idea of comparison. And there was no way, in my mind, that being the best was synonymous with taking the path of least resistance. But I had the wrong viewpoint. Taking the path of least resistance wasn't just about doing what was easy. It was also about only doing what I knew would guarantee my own success. So I came to Stanford looking for extracurriculars that were familiar to me. I had tutored and babysat in high school, so I signed up to tutor at EPATT. I loved my experience as a tutor from day one. I tutored 2 girls in middle school and found that the one-on-one dynamic truly enabled me to help make a difference. By the end of my freshman year, I was asked to be a tutor coordinator, a more managerial role. Although I had enjoyed tutoring my freshman year, my first year coordinating was rough. As with my experience in club soccer, my nerves kicked in. I had to assist my tutors on the team with implementing goals for their students. I was afraid of providing incorrect advice, and it made me nervous to meet with them, so when we did meet, I didn't suggest much. I was a mediocre TC at best, and if my soccer coach had been at EPATT, he would have fired me for taking the path of least resistance yet again. During that same year, I was actually living in East Palo Alto, and as more time passed, I became increasingly frustrated with the notion of the Stanford bubble, a term that is repeatedly thrown around on campus and accurately describes how we, as students, seem insulated from the rest of the world and enjoy an extremely comfortable existence, which enables us to focus our energy solely on academics. I had difficulty grasping that the resources and comfort afforded to us at Stanford never seemed to make their way to East Palo Alto, a city that is so geographically close, yet lies in such stark contrast to the Stanford community. There's a general ignorance about EPA among Stanford students. When referenced, the most common response I hear is, "That's the place with the IKEA, right?" So I quickly grew to understand and appreciate EPATT's role in bridging the gap between these two communities. This bridge gives the kids in the program a safe space to study, and it pairs them with college students who, like myself, think that doing well in school is a cool thing. And it in turn exposes Stanford students to life outside that bubble. My appreciation for the program motivated me to spend more time observing exactly what the staff did to ensure that the program ran smoothly. There were so many moving parts: preparing academic goals for each of the 120 plus kids, organizing parent meetings, parent workshops, and having impromptu parent one-on-one meetings, providing tennis instruction, taking the kids on field trips. It was amazing to see how tirelessly they worked, even if they didn't see immediate results. Taking the path of least resistance was never apparent among the EPATT staff. So I came to realize that I had to, in essence, get over myself. There was no explicit competition motivating me to work hard at EPATT, so I had 2 options: grow increasingly frustrated by the notion of the Stanford bubble and remain mediocre, or work a little harder and do more. I was inspired by the staff's commitment and decided that I wanted to do more. Recently, I was meeting with EPATT's academic director, Keisha. We were discussing the progress that the students on my team, all 8th graders, had made, and she reminded me that the impact the program has on these kids is dictating their academic futures at this very moment. Come back and visit us in 4 years, Catherine, she told me, and these kids will be heading to college. Now that was cool to hear, because it helped me to understand that it's okay to step outside my comfort zone and motivate myself to work harder to guarantee someone else's success. So I have EPATT to thank for being that difference in my Stanford experience. After I graduate and head out into the real world in a short month from now, I can assure you that when I reflect back on my college years and what it means to step away from the path of least resistance, the first thing that will come to mind is EPATT. Thank you.